Easter is a strange holiday for me. Among all the different holidays that happen throughout the year, Easter is the one that feels like the least memorable to me. When I was growing up, the significant part of Easter was more of the build up to Easter because my family is Catholic and they would all partake in Lent. So every single year I had to partake in Lent and I had to pick something to give up. And then for the whole duration of Lent, I was not capable of doing or consuming if it was a food, or I was not capable of engaging in whatever it was that I gave up for Lent. And Easter was the day where you could break your fast and you would no longer have to not engage with whatever it was that you picked to give up for Lent. And that was like the significant part of Easter for me, was being able to break the fast. I have very fond memories of going downstairs on Easter Day and seeing my mother, who had given up coffee for Lent, now drinking a cup of morning coffee, saying hello to me, with my grandmother in the room laughing and giggling and talking about whatever story she was talking about. Which, unfortunately, these memories are feeling more and more distant as time goes on due to a lot of unforeseen and unfortunate circumstances going on within my family. Another part of Easter that was within my childhood that I look back and have fond memories of is egg hunts. When I was growing up, the Easter bunny would come and would hide eggs throughout the house. And usually my sister and I, we would have to go hunt down the eggs. Funnily enough, this past Easter was the first time in a long time that my sister and I actually got to do an egg hunt with each other, because we had some family members over that wanted to bring some eggs and hide them for us to play together. It was a very fun time. Unsurprisingly, my sister is the superior egg hunter between the two of us. I was struggling to find any of the eggs, and I needed assistance from people to find them, because as my sister was running around collecting all of the eggs, essentially completely annihilating any chance I had of finding any egg, I had my family members being like, "Hey, Cinder, over there, look over there, it's over there, the egg is over there." And even when I had my father pretty explicitly tell me that the egg was underneath the napkin on the plate, I was still struggling to figure out what he meant, because he said, it's like, "Hey, look, Cinder, the napkin is floating. How can a napkin be lifted up like that?" And I just did not understand what it was he was trying to communicate to me. Because, you gotta understand, if you're looking at me and you're telling me a napkin is floating, like, why do you think the napkin is floating? My brain is going to take that very and incredibly literally and think you actually mean floating and levitating napkin. I'm not going to understand you mean that the napkin is slightly elevated above the plate. As we can all tell, I am not smart enough for this. But alas, I do eventually figure out what was meant by the napkin is slightly levitating, and move on to the next thing. My sister and I end up having an equal amount of eggs, and it was really fun in the end, being able to laugh at her because she thought that she had won the egg hunt, but she technically did not win the egg hunt because we tied, even though she did technically win the egg hunt because I had help finding my eggs and she found them all on her own because she is the better egg hunter than I am. Slightly off topic, but there is one story that relates to egg hunting that I hear every year during Easter. It takes place back when I was still a toddler, I believe. This year, the Easter Bunny decided to hide real eggs versus the fake plastic eggs that he has been hiding ever since, if he decided to hide eggs. But anyway, I digress. Real eggs were hidden this year, and during this year, there was a dog that lived in the house with us. I had a childhood dog, and the dog found the eggs before I did, or anyone else did, and the dog decided to eat those eggs, and he got very sick afterwards, and it was very bad, as you can imagine. And kind of gross as well. I'll just stop the story here. So anyway, I digress. I guess I can't say that Easter is a super boring holiday to me, but just among the holidays that I have memories of, Easter's the one that feels the least memorable to me. Among what I've talked about in this video, I think those are like the highlights of my Easter memories. And while maybe they sound like a lot in the void of this specific video, I feel like in the grand scheme of things, they aren't a lot. Easter has always just been the holiday where I break my fast and I see family members and hunt for eggs. That's like the basis of what Easter is. While for the other holidays, there's like a genuine feeling and vibe to them that makes them very memorable. Christmas has this like whimsical feel. Halloween has the spooky, creepy month feel. Easter doesn't really have that. Easter is not like the brightly colored, spring arriving, fun and lighthearted month that I feel like a lot of people have been trying to turn it into. Easter is really just one day for me, and it's Easter, and that's it. And the joy that I get during Easter usually centers around the people that I'm with more than the day itself. While some of the other holidays, like Christmas, for example, I feel like Christmas is the big one. Those particular holidays stick out to me as part of the day itself. It's the cold, snowy, icy feeling and going outside and seeing people playing in the snow and all of that stuff makes Christmas feel like Christmas, while Easter is just a day where I hope to see family. Which I guess can be another reason why Easter has been a relatively boring holiday for me. A few years ago, something happened within my family where a lot of us kind of fell out of touch with each other. We stopped talking with each other, a lot of not communicating. And even before that happened, Easter was just not a holiday that a bunch of my family members would get together for. So before it was like, oh, very few people come to Easter. Then it was like, oh, even less people come to Easter now. This past Easter was probably the best Easter I've experienced in a very long time because a family member who I haven't seen in quite a few years decided to come celebrate Easter with us after I haven't seen this person in what feels like forever. I had actually a really good time this Easter, which was very surprising for me because I usually do not care for the holiday. And now it is time to talk about the art featured in this video. This is a drawing of my Pack-a-Pillar or Snekket in a ugly Easter sweater. Like, imagine it's an ugly Christmas sweater, but it's Easter and covered in eggs. Makes total sense. That is about it. Thank you for watching and
subscribe to prevent grease fires.